Okay, welcome everyone. It is a brand new year. It's 2024, January the 3rd, 2024, and we are on to the heart chakra. So let's just jump into the slideshow. Here we go. Okay, so there we go. The journey within, embodiment of love now. And I've got a peace sign, the heart chakra, and a sun for peace, love, and joy. Okay, and these classes are on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. PST and Fridays at 7 p.m. PST. And for more information, just go to my website, voiceoffreedom.ca. Okay, and this is what my site looks like. If anyone's wondering where the recordings are, just go into the pink circle on the homepage and then scroll down. Recordings are right there. You'll see a whole list of them. And then, of course, if for some reason there's no Zoom link on the Golden Age of Gaia, you can always come to Voice of Freedom. They're posted right on the homepage, right under this blue dot. You just scroll down. And yeah, that's good. And if people want to subscribe, there's a button on the front and there's a link right here as well. Okay, so I started working with Archangel Michael around peace because it just seemed like the right thing to do on New Year's Eve. There have been a bunch of groups that are doing massive meditations. The Unified group is aiming for peace by 2030. I changed it to 2024. So I just thought Michael would like that. Anything's possible. Peacenow.com is a great site to go into. They always post forward movement with peace around the world. One of the biggest ones right now is Colombia, doing a lot of work around between the guerrilla warfare is now pretty much come to peace. So, and the whole thing is we're working with charity, the blessing and virtue of charity, the connected to the heart. So we're going to be understanding charity. Takes a lot of courage to get into the place of non-judgment of everything within so that peace becomes a reality in the without. But we are becoming more and more into the feeling of safety within, remembering how cherished we are, and we're going to look at peace and see how deep we can go within into it, as within, so without. So, and this is what charity is about, the seventh dimension, the heart chakra, and the law of unification, unity. So here we go. Within the heart chakra, the understandings of charity, the universal law of unification, unity, and the seventh dimension with Albert Einstein. And it's St. Francis that's going to be sharing about charity. It's a beautiful channeling. And I will be I have posted the audios if you want to listen to them when I post the links. So here we are, we're right in the middle, right in the heart chakra. We've done the root, the pubic, the sacral, the umbilical, the solar plexus, the halion, and now we're into the heart. You can see it's connected to charity, compassion, love. There's the law and the seventh dimension of Christ consciousness. And this whole chart really is from the Divine Mother, explaining divine alignment, which is healing. There's no difference between creation, which is alignment, and healing. When we work on healing ourselves, we're working on alignment, and when we're creating anything, it is actually a healing. Okay, so here we go. There's the heart chakra. I did a big emerald green heart. You can see it's right in the middle of our system. There's St. Francis. We're going to be working on perfect health. This heart chakra is connected to the thymus, the actual heart organ, the circulatory system, the immune system, and the endocrine system. We'll go into that a little bit deeper. And I love this statement from Albert Einstein, the state of being, the heart, and knowing of love. And we'll go into deeper into that too as well. So here is what is connected to the heart chakra as in organs and systems in the body. It's also connected to the sacred musical note of F. If you're playing a sound bowl, that is the note for the heart. So this chakra is connected to the thymus. I didn't know really what it was. I looked it up. It's this little red organ right here in the chest, between the lungs, just in front of and above the heart. White blood cells, which are part of the immune system and help protect us from infection. So I didn't really look, okay, not really sure. I will look into that. Maybe it runs the white blood cells. Okay, sorry, didn't write that properly. Okay, so the heart chakra is connected to the heart, which is an organ about the size of a fist. It pumps blood through our body. Our heart is at the center of our circulatory system. The circulatory system is one of the most important systems in the human body. It is what makes the blood in our body go round. The blood carries oxygen, nutrients, and hormones, takes them to where they are needed, and removes waste products like carbon dioxide. This chakra is connected to the immune system as well, which is a complex network of organs, cells, and proteins that protect our body cells. The immune system keeps a record of every microbe that enters so it can recognize and deal with the microbe if it enters the body again. And also to the endocrine system, which is many glands from the hypothalamus and the pituitary and the pineal gland in our brain, the thyroid and parathyroid glands in our neck, the thymus between our lungs, the adrenals on top of our kidneys, and the pancreas behind our stomach. It uses hormones to coordinate our body's metabolism, energy level, reproduction, growth, and development in response to injury, stress, and mood. You can see how important the middle of the system is and how many systems are connected to the heart. So the more we're in that compassion and charity and love within our physical form, it really helps our health. So it's so interesting to see what is connected to these chakras. Okay. So I had sort of forgotten which organs were connected to which chakras. So I just thought we'd do a little bit of a review because it's interesting and helpful. So to the root chakra at the base of the spine is the adrenals, the kidneys, and the spine. So there's the kidneys. And the root chakra is all about balancing the past and feeling safe. So letting go of all fear. So that's a beautiful one to know if we have any issues with these organs, to do the work of the balancing between the masculine and the feminine, basically. Really having a good look at early caregivers and blessing everything and being in that state of forgiveness. And if apology is needed, and we'll go into this, to do that quick apology like Saint Bernadette recommended. So the second chakra, the pubic, is all about cosmetic repair for Gaia. Feeling peaceful within can really help with this chakra. The third, which is the sacral, which is us in physicality. This is a third dimension as well. The ovaries and the testes. So again, balancing the masculine and the feminine, making sure we're blessing ourselves and blessing the past as well. The fourth, which is the umbilical glands, the bladder, the liver, the gallbladder. The fifth, the liver, the spleen, the stomach, the gallbladder, the nervous system. The sixth is DNA. And then the seventh is the thymus, the heart, and then all these systems, circulatory, immune, and endocrine. And the endocrine is connected to all these glands. So as you see how it's all so connected. Okay, so then as we go up, we'll go into the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th, and the different body parts that are connected to the chakras. So we are really, really, I find it helpful just to see even these, the pictures in front of us, the illustrations of how it all works, and then just imagining your own divine alignment inside for that healing. We learned with Saint Bernadette how important apologies are, just the quick apology. If something comes up, to do the quick, I'm so sorry for the past, to the self, the universe, and whomever we've harmed. It is a fast creation, healing for organs, systems to be in divine alignment, balancing karma, past life trauma. So it just brings us into that divine alignment. And so this arrow right here goes to the throat, which is the knowing that everything is forgiven in the higher realms. But to get to that state, that quick apology is miraculous. And we're going to go a bit deeper into that because I've discovered something on Christmas Day that was helpful. It's connected to acceptance and acknowledgement. But the idea is to feel safe, to know that we're cherished. And the deeper we go into that safety and cherishing ourselves, that's what we want to see reflected on the planet. So the more we are holding it, then we're not sending energy into disarray. We're not contributing to the disarray. We're contributing to peace, the peace movement, as within, so without. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Any questions or anything about this? No, okay, so just keep going here. Okay, so any kind of illness or imbalance can come from not feeling safe, and also from feeling unforgivable. Now, this goes back lifetimes. We have all engaged in behavior that is not of love, and we don't really like to look at it. And this is what came to me on Christmas Day. If we have experienced trauma, it's usually an indication that we have engaged in behavior out of alignment in other lifetimes. And that was the wake up for us not to judge it and not to feel like we're a victim, to really address it and ask how it's connected to the past. And if you go deep enough, you will see behavior out of alignment. But most of us don't even want to think about it, don't want to know about it. And it's not like we have to know about it. It's just to just, sometimes we're doing the work on behalf of others that really don't want to look at it. So it's just a good idea to know that we could have been part of war, killing, violence, rape. We could have been involved in that. And the idea is just to know, okay, we came, we had the adventure, we wanted to experience everything. And once you can do that quick apology for self, maybe it's not even for self, on behalf of all the others that really don't want to look at it, it really helps with the peace movement. So know to do it without judgment, because charity is all about non-judgment. We're not here to judge anything. We're just here to acknowledge and accept the past. So has anyone ever felt like they've been involved in abuses of power, like in other lifetimes? Yeah, okay, good. Awesome. Yeah, I know I have. Archangel Michael explained stuff to me, and I have seen stuff. So, and that is what contributes to us not, it can contribute to illness or imbalance within the physical self. So I can't tell you how much better I felt once I started really looking at the past not afraid of it anymore. Like I never really was, but I wasn't going as deep as I went on Christmas Day. And it made a huge difference. Just face right into it, do the quick apology to self, and then extend it to the universe because it went out and contributed to war in the universe and to whomever I've harmed. It's a very fast, it's exactly what St. Bernadette said, and it contributes to perfect alignment in the physical form. Perfect health. And that's where we want to get to. We want to be at peace within. So that quick apology, highly recommend it. It doesn't take much. And you can even ask, you can sit in meditation and ask Michael to show you stuff, but make sure you've really grounded yourself and you know that everything is forgiven and you're doing it for the healing. Like have a real notebook in front of you and know you were totally cherished and loved. There is no judgment in the higher realms. It's impossible for them to judge anything because they're in such a state of bliss. And we came for the adventure. So highly recommend this quick apology. Okay. And I've said before, experienced trauma in this life can be a co-creation to balance our karma. And so that, like, how else are we going to get into it to do the work if we haven't experienced a bit of trauma in this lifetime? So it's mastery of detachment and attachment to the highest vision. So creations for peace. Yeah, so this here, it's hard to read, but creations for peace, apology to self for years, for years of violence. Yeah. So it's just a matter of getting in and doing the work. And it's not that difficult. Your guides will show you, our guides know better than we do. They can, if you want illustrations or pictures, in your mind's eye, they'll show you. But it's just know everything is forgiven. Okay, so now we're on to the 7th dimension with Albert. And he says the 7th dimension is known as the dimension of the Christ consciousness. This is the state of being the heart and knowing of love. It is the growth opportunity for compassion, kindness, selflessness, honoring, and love. When you anchor in this place of consciousness, you are fully capable of holding the vibrations, energies, lessons, understandings, and growth of all of the 12 dimensions available to you on this planet. So anchor in the 7th, that's the heart, and that's where we've been asked to do most of our meditations, not in the mind so much, to sink into the heart and be in that state of heart listening, and especially to fly behind the heart into the golden temple. So you can see I've got a lot of green writing and golden writing, healing and creation. And then the blue is the mother energy of peace and hope and apologies. So we need all these colors to understand the healing that we're moving through. Okay, and there's Albert saying the state of being the heart and knowing of love. And then this is my little illustration from the law of attachment and detachment, just to give you an idea of the warmth of the colors of the chakras below. The blue sitting like a Buddha there, saying, I'm so sorry, detaching, attaching to blessing everything. Under that Bodhi tree, like the heart. And then, of course, that golden energy that's above. And that's connected to apologies and gratitude too. So embedded within the chakra system are these understandings. It's just a matter of sitting still and heart listening. Okay. So Albert goes on, he said, it is the gentle, allowing state of being that permits expansion and incorporation of your entire original imprint, soul design, what you think of as your universal or higher self, your angelic self, or your oversoul. So the more we're in the state of not judging the past, that we've done the work around apology, we're in the state of forgiveness, our higher selves can anchor in, especially our universal self. If you think of the seventh dimension in terms of the electromagnetic field that governs your planet, it allows you the capacity to incorporate the electric nature of the energy, patterning and lessons of the first 6 dimensions, and the magnetic energy pull of the 8th through the 12th. So I tried to make it easy to understand this, but the lower chakras are very warm, mostly connected to the sunlight, but there is a bit of blue water here in the Halion. And then the higher ones are more the blue energy of the mother, the magnetic mother, understanding of it, that everything is forgiven except for the golden energy of the Saran. So the magnetic pull is connected to the moon and the water, the tides, and then the electric nature, the sunlight. So I was hoping that would make it easier to understand. Both energies spin around the planet as well. The sunlight energy, the golden energy, is more of a clockwise around the planet. That is our golden ascension spiral. And then the blue is the mother energy spinning the other way, connected to the Porlana Sea of the galactics as well. And that's the understandings of deeper and deeper into understanding everything is forgiven. Yes, Darren.
So are you saying here that the first 6 dimensions are mainly magnetic and not so much electric?
The first ones are electric. The first 6, the electric, and then the 8th to the 12th are more magnetic.
Okay.
Connected to the water and the moon and the tides. And then the lower ones are more electric. But also I've got another way to look at it too, because this is the Merkaba. So the spinning energies, the electric spinning energy of the lower chakras, and then the magnetic pull of the higher ones. So just think, you can also think of it like your Merkaba. So see the symbol in the heart chakra? It's those 2 triangles, and they spin around the physical form as well. That's how the orbs travel. When you see orbs in the sky, they're utilizing their Merkabas to fly, basically. So it's not something that we have to worry too much about. Just know that it's embedded within the system, and the understandings of the warm electric is joy, gratitude, and the magnetic cool connected to the water is the peace, the hope, the trust, the faith, the forgiveness of everything. The mother, the divine mother forgives everything. We are learning to emanate her and the divine father to be in that state of hope and the father energy of joy. Yes, Darren?
Okay, so is that basically saying then that the Divine Mother is mainly magnetic and the Divine Father is electric?
Well, that's what Albert Einstein is inferring.
Okay.
But he's relating it to the chakras.
Yeah, but I'm relating to the colors mainly.
Yeah. Magnetic energy pull, divine mother. And she's more connected to the water and the father to the sunlight. So it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So interesting. Then Albert goes on, he says, you can think of the 7th dimension as the place of still point where all energies anchor and flourish. It can be the place of intersection of all and is the most natural and comfortable dimension for human beings because it is not only peaceful, but feels like home to most. And Archangel Michael has said this many, many times. when we really anchor in the heart and meditate through the heart and heart listen, like it becomes more and more comfortable to be in the physical form because we're not stuck in the mind. We're not worried in the mind. In the heart, it's peace, love, and joy. And especially when we learn to anchor in the golden temple and behind, that is just being in pure joy, in gratitude, and operating from there. So it's a beautiful system that they've outlined for us. It's just a matter of us practicing it. And the more and more we understand it, it's perfect health, it's perfect wealth, it's perfect relationship, it's perfect abundance. Everything flows. The more and more we anchor into the system, understanding the system. Yes, Darren.
So is this basically saying that once we gain ascension, we will be in still point?
Okay, so from my understanding, we are ascending all the time. And what ascension is us understanding how things work in the higher realms so that we are at peace. Do you want to be at still point all the time? I don't think so, because there's action involved here. We're here to be in action. That is part of the divine plan. So there's times to be at still point, when we're doing our creations, and then there's times for action, but everything is within the heart. The action is in the heart too. It's not just still point. There's action. Like
Okay.
the mother, we are the mother and the father. And the mother energy is very action oriented.
Okay. It's just from this, I got the impression anyway that the heart was mainly still point, but yeah, you make a good point.
Mhm. No. In behind in the temple, the golden temple is a great place to come to still point, but you can also come to still point in the emerald green heart chakra as well. And you can come to still point in the seat of the soul, which is at the tip of the top of the solar plexus. Yes, Leanne.
Yeah, just I guess about what you were saying about still point, Darren. I guess it seems to me when it says still point where all energies anchor and flourish. So that's kind of that point where it can anchor. So either the movement or the still point,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Kind of that midpoint where
Mm-hmm.
either can flourish.
Yes. And that still point can be at the top of the solar plexus because the heart is actually huge. The heart chakra goes all the way to the solar plexus, and it can be in the golden temple and behind, and in the front of the heart chakra as well. Yes, Ken.
I'm just wondering if still point is a what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not inaccurate, but I'm wondering if we just lump a lot of stuff in there because that's what we've done in the past. And I'm just wondering if, maybe we need to think of it as something different.
Still point is really for when we're creating something and we're bringing the energies to the still point so that the other side can add their energy to our
okay.
creations. Yeah. It's a place, a still point is 17 seconds. That's what's needed for a creation to be birthed. It's something to do with it's like 9 months it takes a baby to be in the womb before it's birthed. When we work with a creation, the 17 seconds is a connection to that 9 months. But it's in the higher realms, all it takes is 17 seconds. And then the other side can add their energies to our creation. That's when they do it. And then we birth it out, and then they work more with it. Yeah. it's really, still point is really for creation. Mhm. Did you have another question?
Yeah. So after still point, is that when there's creation?
Yeah, the birthing of the creation, yeah. So creation is usually a contemplation, you're gathering your information, you're deciding what you want to create. Like it's a good idea to really contemplate what you'd like to create. Then you sit still with it and you drop into your heart and you bring it all to still point. And that's when the other side adds their energy to it. Then we drop it down to the solar plexus and birth it out. And then you come back up into your heart and you give gratitude. And then you just go on with your life. Basically, its still point is for creation, for when we're ready to burst something out. We've done our contemplation, we've really thought about it a lot, and it's for it, if you wanted to create perfect health, then you would contemplate, and then you would sit still, and then you would really bring it to still point at 17 seconds and allow the other side to add their energy to it. And then the whole thing is when you birth it out and then you come back into your heart and you're sitting gratitude, that's when you wait. You don't jump into action right away. You wait until you're guided. Because we tend to
Okay.
jump into action because we think we've got to control the whole thing. It's just wait and allow and listen. Yeah.
Very helpful.
Okay. Yes, and you can create anything from perfect health to abundance to whatever, but I highly recommend doing a lot of contemplation before you bring it to still point. So yeah. Okay. So Albert goes on, he says, the seventh dimension is the state of being in perfect balance of simply being. And this is very helpful when we have birth to creation, because he's simply being is a big part of it, so that we're not jumping into action and trying to control things. And he says, while many dimensions entail action, this is more a state of allowing, because it is the place of intersection. It is the growth lesson of acceptance and acknowledgement of unity and connectedness of all beings, all dimensions, and all life forms. And I just wanted to say one thing. We can be in a state of allowing when we've done our work around apology and forgiveness of the past, because it's easy. We're not jumping into action because we're at a state of peace, in a state of peace. Okay, yes, Ken.
I'm just wondering if the comparison is that this is a slower process than some of the other chakras. In other words, it takes time to birth it and so forth. So it's
Yeah, this chakra is really just helping us understand well, when we study the charity, it's all about not judging anything. It's all about standing back. It's again, like the Buddha talked about attachment and detachment. This chakra is too. It's just us watching, simply being, and when the old energy comes up, to accept it and acknowledge it. I mean, it makes us stand back and allow and heart listen. It's all about listening and knowing that we're all connected. We're connected to everything on the planet. And so for the next slide, so Albert said it's a growth lesson of acceptance and acknowledgement. And I said, of what? How do we get to unity and connectedness of all beings, all dimensions, and all life forms? Because there's still fighting happening on this planet. But the job is to really go deep and apologize to self for any disarray, and then we can just stand back and watch, and we can send the energy of peace out. But if we haven't done the peace work ourselves, if we haven't addressed the past, like the deep past where we've really created havoc, we haven't accepted it, we haven't acknowledged it, it's very difficult to create peace on the planet and to be in unity and connectedness. So it is the gentle allowing state of being that permits expansion and incorporation of your entire original imprint soul design, what you think of as your universal or higher self, your angelic self, your oversoul. They can't come in and be comfortable here unless we looked at the past, the deep past where we've created havoc, and we're at peace around it. That we're not judging it. We've done, if apology is what brings you to peace, then I highly recommend the apology to self, to the universe, and whomever we've harmed. And so then we're in acceptance and acknowledgement, and we can be in unity and connectedness. But it's really hard if we haven't done it. If we're still holding on to trauma, or trauma hasn't been addressed. Like I'm doing trauma therapy starting January the 10th. Just to get, because I've had so much trauma in this lifetime that I now realize I need more help. So gonna go do more deep work. But I'm also going in after doing like much deeper apologies than I've ever done. So I'm hoping it's gonna go pretty fast. Okay. Charity, in its truest sense, is a very courageous act because it is extending yourself and wanting to share, not to fix, not to change direction, but to simply share. What do you think that is? I think it's apology to self, actually. I think that's what he's talking about. So we're going to, when we get to charity with St. Francis, this is one of the things he said, but I think that's what he's talking about. Okay. So yeah, so it's just, I'm so sorry. And then what it does is it actually brings us into divine alignment. So when we can address the past, acknowledge it, and accept the past just for what it was, no judgment, and addressing it with a quick apology if necessary, it brings us into feeling safe and cherished. And that's mastery of divine alignment, which is healing. So apologies, forgiveness, compassion, no judgment, and gratitude for the past. And it brings us into a state of healing and a state of alignment, a state of healing. Okay. And then another way to feel safe is engaging with the mighty ones. So Archangel Michael, Raphael, Uriel, Yophael, and Gabriel. And we've gone over this, and this is what the Divine Mother recommended. If you're not feeling safe, if you're not feeling well, host the mighty ones and heart listen. And just heart listen, because in the heart listening, in the stillness, is all kinds of answers. And don't be afraid of what you see. Just know everybody, I don't know anyone that is not engaged in drama, from extreme to mild in other lifetimes. We've been here hundreds of times. There's no way that we haven't been caught up in it. Okay, so and this is our mission with Michael. We're sending out love to the planet. So the more that we're in that state, real deep state of peace, the better for when we're sending love. And Steve just woke up. Okay, so there we go. There's Michael. There's our mission with Michael. We want to create all this lovely blue energy for the planet. Okay. And then green and gold. Okay, so all there is love and joy and peace. There's that, what Rafi said, there's no difference between healing and creation. And then I said, healing is creation and creation is healing. So kind of makes sense. And then Albert, the seventh dimension is known as the dimension of the Christ consciousness. So when Christ walked the planet, he really talked a lot about forgiveness. And that this is what's anchored into the heart chakra, deep understanding. And I love what Saint Bernadette said, and she connected it to the water. So when she was doing the digging and the water came forth, she did say in that channeling that whenever we are sipping water, to call on her and the Divine Mother, and she's the one that recommended the apology. So water is healing, and water is connected to forgiveness, and water is connected to apology. So just know that flow, when we're in the flow of being able to forgive and apologize, it creates peace in the physical form. And water is a huge component of it. Yes, Darren.
So if we want to connect with the Christ consciousness, I guess it's best to do it through the heart then, the seventh dimension. Huh?
How else would you do it?
I don't know.
You can call on Jesus.
Well,
Yes. And ask for help, because that is the Christ. He is the Christ consciousness. And he's more than happy to help. He loves it when we call on him. Okay.
Yes.
So let's see, what time are we at? We got 3 minutes. Okay, so this is a fabulous way to go deeper using Archangel Uriel silver. And it's so simple. You just breathe in 7 breaths of silver. So that's another way to get so deep into the past. So we can do the work. And Uriel stands at our, I think it's the right shoulder. He's very close to us, and he's always helping, and he's just very quiet. So 7 deep breaths of silver and sit still. Beautiful way to go deep. Yes, Darren.
so can you remind me what the qualities of silver are?
Truth.
Truth? Okay.
Truth. And you can't have love without truth. They are like a double helix. Truth is the knowing that you are never alone and that everything is in divine order. So if you catch a glimpse of acting out of alignment in meditation, just know it was in divine order. We wanted to play all the roles so we would have compassion and not judge the people abusing power on planet right now. We're here to send compassion. We're here to be in the state of forgiveness. We're here to be in unity and connectedness. And that's these understandings that Albert has just explained to us. That the 7th dimension is acknowledgement, acceptance, and being able to be in the heart. Just be in the heart. Simply be. And it's a beautiful state of being. Okay, so now here, and this is where we'll stop, but this is the definition of charity from the Council of Love through Linda Dillon. And so it is the genuine ability to share all things, material, spiritual, and emotional, based in the true understanding that there is always enough for all to thrive, and we are all richer in the joint expression of sharing. A heartfelt need to be generous, knowing knowledge and gifts are never intended solely for one person. The vibration is green. And then he goes on, he gives other definitions. One of them is a celebration of non-judgment. He talks about everyone being so cherished. Charity is a really beautiful blessing and virtue. And St. Francis was one, he got into a lot of trouble. He had many, many lifetimes. He was Gandhi, he was St. Francis, he was lots and lots of different beings. And he tended to do the extremes. And so he really gets it, how important it is not to judge these lifetimes. To be in the state of forgiveness and quick apology. And it's just really good practice anyways in everyday life. If something goes wrong, to be able to apologize quickly. So it's a lovely thing. My daughter has mastered it. Jojo, she's mastered this quick apology. And it's just such a lovely thing to witness. Yes, Ken.
What's the difference between apology and forgiveness?
Well, Darren and I had a conversation about this as well. To me, forgiveness is like a state of being, whereas apology is more the action of apologizing. And we need both. It's really hard to get a beautiful state of forgiveness without the action piece. So I highly recommend practicing the apology to self and then extending it to the universe and extending it, blanket it to whoever we've harmed. Because if we've been here hundreds of times, imagine how many people we've harmed. And that all contributed to the state of disarray on the planet. All the old belief systems, because we weren't very good at looking at them. So they've compounded. We're all responsible. So if we take core responsibility in this lifetime, then it can contribute to it all dissolving. So we do create peace on earth. But we've got a ways to go. Can we do it in 1 year? I don't know.
So we'll bring in the mighty ones to help us.
Yeah, they're right there. They're cheering us on for sure. I don't know how many people it would take to get into this really deep apology before you could you'd have the tipping point that it could be extended to everyone.
Oh, probably about 1 million.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think 1 million.
1 million.
Chiron talks about that, about if we all meditated, 1 million people meditated for peace and sending love in for I don't know, it was like 10 minutes, the world would be a different place. Like at the same time.
Okay, well, I'm sure that's happened. We've had millions of people meditating at the same time.
Wait, okay.
Yeah. But
Now that's old recording, but still, yeah.
Personally, I think it's getting so that we're not judging anything.
Right.
I think that's the key. We're not, and that's where the apology contributes to the non-judgment. It helps us get to non-judgment. Because I don't know too many people that are looking at, being a rapist in another lifetime, or killing, or, all the things that go along with war. I don't know too many people that are going that deep. Not many of us want to look at that. And I think that's the key. Being able not to judge it. Because if we're in no judgment of self about the past, then we are definitely not judging what's happening on the planet, the leaders abusing power, or local politicians, or we're just able to stand back. And that's the quality of the heart chakra, to not judge and be able to just stand back. I don't know too many people, even, I don't know. I know the work I have to do. Yeah, Ken.
Should we be going that deep?
Why, do you think it's dangerous?
No, I was just wondering. I don't have any idea.
Yeah, I think we should be, because we've been studying for a couple of years. I think we're all capable. I think we can look at it and know that everything is forgiven and be able to bless ourselves. I know I did over Christmas. I was not thinking of something at all. And then it was like, oh, wow. Okay. Yes. All connected to my family and what happened to me growing up.
we also have a lot of support to do that now too. So this is a good time to do it.
But we've always had the support, but we really know it's there. I mean, we know we can surround ourselves with the mighty ones. They want us to do this work. But they can't say that, they haven't said too much because they want us to discover it. They can't just tell us. I mean, it's taken me years to get to where I got to on Christmas Day. I was like, whoa, how come I didn't figure that out before? Because I didn't want to look at it. Mm-mm. But we can do it. We can do it. Just know that we've all been involved and we've all abused power to varying degrees. Okay, so why don't we send out, what shall we send out to the planet for 10 minutes? Apology to self? Or,
How about charity?
yeah, well, that's what, I mean, I'm sure that's what he's talking about here. So yeah, charity. Yeah, non-judgment of self, basically. A celebration of non-judgment. Then we'd really get to peace. Okay, I'll set the timer and let's do it. And you can put yourself on mute if you like. Okay, see everybody in 10 minutes. Okay. That's 10 minutes. Mhm. That wasn't too bad. That went by fast.
Yeah.
I have some question. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, I was just saying we're old hands at now meditation. Yes, Ken.
Um, from charity, I went to safety.
Nice.
Well, what I was wondering is, and then I went to the inner walls of my heart. And the question that I have is, that seems to be very limiting because it doesn't include other people.
Everything is in the heart. Everything.
All right, so it doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we have access to everything in the heart. So
Yeah, it was in the inner walls of the heart, and I was sitting in the chair and stuff. It was cool.
beautiful. That's the place to be. You have access to your guides information. You have access, like on those walls is everything. You've written
Sure.
messages to yourself. Yeah. Good
Okay.
work. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Good. Anybody else have anything they want to share? Okay. Well, Friday I have a retreat that I have to do, so I won't be here. But I'll definitely be back for Monday for the meditation. Yeah. And then on the next Wednesday we'll go into charity. There's a beautiful meditation, and then St. Francis has some lovely, lovely insights. And you can listen to the audio if you want. I did post it in the link tonight, but I'll post it again with the recording, or you can always go onto my site to find it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Lovely information. You are so welcome. Thank you for coming, everyone. Oh, and I'm just going to stop the recording right now. Oh, where is it? So many. Oh, there it is. There's so many buttons now down below. All right. Thank you, everybody.